What is going on, you lovely ladies and gentlemen of the world? We're here to talk. You know what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Arc Revolution. I'm not really here to talk about the gameplay. Some of the gameplay hasn't even happened yet. I'm doing this in the middle of the game that shall not be named. BlazBlue just ended. Guilty Gear hasn't happened yet. I feel like the only thing I'm going to say about the gameplay is that I feel like it's the perfect middle finger to the state that BlazBlue was left in, that Izanami won Arc Revolution, and that she did it pretty easily. Fenrich put up a fight. Fenrich put up a really good fight, but I feel like if the player had been smarter, the player behind Izanami had been smarter, the fight would not have been anywhere near that close. Like, the amount of times that he got hit by, like, he put himself into danger for no good reason, that was confusing me the entire time. Like, why did he let Ribcage put him into danger every single time he used it? It just bugged me to hell. But so then every single time he would do that, and Fenrich would wait him out, he'd then land a hit, get a combo, and then do an air reset. And every single time the Izanami player teched into it and got counter hit. Like, you would think you would learn after the first 5 times getting hit with this very specific, obvious setup, maybe don't tech here. But he just kept teching there. So it was basically like that one scenario, one Fenrich, like 3 rounds, pretty much by itself. Kind of crazy. But yeah, I feel like it's just, again, the perfect middle finger to the horrible state that BlazBlue has been left in, that Izanami won Arc System Works' like official sanctioned tournament for the game. So shoutouts to you, Team Blue. Love you for your game. So anyway, let's talk about Arc Revolution. Big disappointment for me. The event itself was cool. Staff was great. The tournaments were run very well. Venue was cool. Kind of small, but cool. But the big problem is that I went there for 2 main reasons. I went there for the Guilty Gear demo, and I went there for the UNICLR demo. So let's talk about UNICLR first, because I don't have that much to say about it, because I didn't play it. Why didn't you play it, Nate? Well, let me tell you. So the first thing I did when I got to the venue was stand in line for the Arc System Works actual, like, merchandise store, because I knew that would sell out fast. Like, for some reason, they never bring enough stock for the demand. So, because I guess they just hate money. But, so I wanted to get a shirt, because I didn't get one. I didn't get one at Evo. I wanted that UNICLR shirt that they had that was specifically for Evo, and that sold out so quickly I never got it. So I was just like, I'm going to get an Arc Revolution shirt this time. So I got in line, I was waiting in line, and as I'm passing, I actually see there's a table set aside there for UNICLR. And I was like, oh shit. Keep in mind that that's there. I'm going to come back later, I'm going to play that. And so then I kind of put it out of mind because I passed it as the line kept on moving forward. But then later on, I'm just kind of looking around, as you do as you're standing in line. And I saw a player that I played at Evo. I played an Enkidu mirror match against him. He was much better than me. But I saw him sit down to play. I was like, oh shit, maybe I can see some Enkidu stuff from here. And so I start paying attention. And then I noticed, like, he's playing a Merkaba mirror match. Maybe he's a Merkaba player. Like, I don't know at this point, but I'm kind of confused. Like, damn it, why is he playing Merkaba? Above all, why is he playing a Merkaba mirror match? This sucks. Why is he doing this? But again, put it out of mind. So then later on, I stand in line for the Guilty Gear demo. And so the way they had this set up was that they had, like, 2 sets of tables with monitors facing in both directions. So you had, in one direction were 5 monitors for Guilty Gear, and the other side were 5 more monitors. I assumed they were all for Guilty Gear. They were not. Those other 5 monitors were one was for the new Kill la Kill game, one was for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, one was for UNICLR, and then there were 2 BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle stations. And so the line wrapped around those stations to take the survey after you played the Guilty Gear demo. And so as I'm standing in line to take the survey, I start actually paying attention to the UNICLR setup, just to see, what's going on, what kind of characters can I see. And the first thing that I see is the character select screen. And I notice that almost the entire cast is grayed out with, like, little locks in front of their portraits. And so then I was like, oh, that's why he wasn't playing Enkidu. You actually quite literally cannot play Enkidu here. And so instantly I was just like, well, shit, I don't even care anymore. You can't play Enkidu. I should have, because now that I think about it, now that I'm, like, not kind of rushed with, like, what should I be doing? What could I do? Yada, yada. Gordeau was a playable character. They only had like 5 or 6. I'm not sure who. I distinctly remember at some point in time seeing Hyde, Linné, Yuzuriha, Merkaba, and Gordeau. So I don't know if they had more than that. Those are just the 5 that I remember off the top of my head. I should have played Gordeau. Kind of makes me sad that I didn't know. Oh no, Seth. No, it's not Seth. I'm mixing that up with an actual Lunis tournament match that I saw. Okay, yeah, I have no idea. Those are the 5 that I can remember. I don't know if they had more. But most of the cast was not playable. Like, even the new character was not playable there. So, that sucked. And so because of that, I was just instantly like, all right, cool. Don't care about this anymore. So I just never played the UNICLR demo, which was the biggest disappointment for me personally. Like, that's what, because I knew, like, for Guilty Gear 2020, the line was going to be huge. The wait was going to be long. And you already know my kind of, like, opinion about how the game looks right now. Wasn't looking forward to it that much, but I was still open to being pleasantly surprised. But so I was kind of assuming that I would spend the majority of my time playing UNICLR and testing out stuff. And then again, like, oh, Enkidu isn't even playable. Great. All right. So I never even bothered trying to play it. So that was the first big disappointment of the day. Second big disappointment, I didn't get a shirt again. So I mentioned that I stood in the merchandise line. I'll show you some pictures of all the stuff that I talk about as I talk about it. But so, the first thing, again, I was like, I'm just going to get a shirt this time. I want an Arc Revolution shirt. I want one that's like, hey, man, I was here and I can wear it and be proud of that, that kind of thing. And so, as I start getting closer, they have like little models set up that are wearing, what are they even called? Like, it was just the torsos. It wasn't like a full mannequin. It was just the torso. But anyway, so they had them set up so you could actually see what the shirt looked like. And so they had 2 official Arc Revolution shirts. And one was like Guilty Gear specific. And it had Soul on the front. And it was way too much. If you watched my Evo stuff, like, you remember me talking about, I like my stuff simple. I like my stuff like with one kind of main focal point of it all. I don't like stuff being too busy. This shirt was way too busy. And I looked at that and I was like, I will never wear that, ever. There's a 0% chance that I will ever wear that to anything, ever. I'm not spending money on it. So then they had an official Arc Revolution shirt. And it was basically the same thing. Like, you have these garish yellow and orange lettering. It kind of sort of reminded me of like a bad sponsor jersey, basically. It was like the best way I can describe it. Again, I'll show you a picture of it so you know what I'm talking about. But so I looked at that and was like, cool, never going to wear that. And the one thing that I don't have a picture of, maybe I can find it, but if I don't, sorry. It was kind of like this minimalist Ragna t-shirt. It was a red t-shirt with like Ragna from the shoulders up, just outlined in black. But that was it. It wasn't like overbearing. There wasn't too much going on. It was a simple shirt. So I was like, I could find, something to wear that too. Why not? So I'll just get that. So I finally get to the front of the line. And I asked the dude, like, yo, that Ragna t-shirt, what sizes you got it in? And instantly, this dude's face just goes from like, how can I help you, to, fuck. And he just goes, we only have that in a small. He knew, I can't believe he assumed that my 6'5", 240 pound self wouldn't be able to wear a small. How dare he? But so, didn't get a shirt again. Wound up buying this nice little tapestry, which unfortunately does feature, it has Noelle on it. I don't mind Ruby, because actually, Ruby uses a scythe. I don't mind Ruby at all. It has Soul, it has Ragna. But Noelle's also there, and that's kind of disappointing. But regardless, I have it hanging up in my room right now. But I have it hanging up off, like, I don't have anything good to hang it off of. Like, I can't put up nails or anything like that. This isn't like a permanent residence. So I just hung it up. Like, I have this rectangular light that I hung it off of, but it's directly next to my door. And so if I open my door too quickly, the draft actually just blows it completely off the light, and it just falls off onto the ground. I've done it like 3 times so far. It's kind of pathetic. But so as I'm standing in this line, I went with somebody else, and we were talking about the merchandise, talking about things they had. And so they had a case showing off everything that they had. And one of the things that they had were a bunch of keychains for all the different for BlazBlue characters or for Guilty Gear characters. And so they knew that I liked Potemkin, that Potemkin was a character that I really liked playing, that I really liked in general. And so they noticed that, hey, they don't have a Potemkin keychain. So why don't they have a Potemkin keychain? And so instantly my response is just like, nobody ever has Potemkin stuff, ever. Nobody. Like, you can look through all the artwork, you can look through everything. Nobody ever features Potemkin in their shit. And so later on, they had their own little artist alley there. There were only like 5 vendors, unfortunately. There wasn't a huge amount of people. But one of them had, I'm going to try to look for their name. That I think I should have asked for it so I could actually, because they were at Evo too. Anyway, they basically take, so like most of the people that sell these kinds of keychains, and I'm going to show you this picture of this keychain, they just take already pre-drawn portraits of these characters and then just stick them into keychains. Like, there's no effort, and I mean, at least as far as I'm aware, maybe there is effort involved, but it doesn't seem like there's any effort involved in it. But this girl actually like makes them her own. She basically takes the characters from media series that she enjoys and draws them as cats. And she had a Potemkin keychain. And I'll be honest with you, that kind of thing isn't really something I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta see it. That appeals to me. But I gotta be honest with you, this keychain is fucking adorable. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it because I don't carry any keys around me at the moment. But still, it's fucking adorable. So I bought it, and I have it now. And of course, I mean, I had to do that. Like, I just spent like 5 minutes complaining about how nobody ever sells anything Potemkin related, and I just find something Potemkin related. Of course I'm going to buy that. So anyway, do I have anything else to talk about in regard to that? Oh, they had an S booby mouse pad. I don't know if you have all, I don't even understand the appeal of them. Like, you can't use them. They're not practical. Nobody's going to use a mouse pad where you're going to like hit your mouse against the upraised bit constantly trying to use it. Just useless. It cost $40 fucking dollars. It was the first thing that sold out. It was the first goddamn thing that sold out. Oh my god, that hurt me. What is wrong with you people? Anyway. So, Guilty Gear 2020. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of everything. Very disappointing overall. Not the game itself. I didn't get to form an opinion of the game itself because I stood in line for about like an hour, maybe a bit over an hour. And when you sit down, they're like, all right, you get one game. You don't get a set. You don't get to play 2 out of 3. You don't get nothing. You get one game. That's it. Potentially like a grand total of 5 minutes to play the game. I didn't even bother taking my hitbox out of the bag. I just played on the pad that they supplied you with. I was like, I'm not going to fucking set up my hitbox for one goddamn game. Are you kidding me? So I played on pad, and it was just, again, I just didn't get to form an opinion. It sucks. I mean, like, I can say for sure, I shouldn't say I didn't get to form a opinion. I didn't get to form an overall feeling for the game of whether or not I'm going to like it or not. I was able to tell you for certain that I'm not going to like Potemkin. I can guarantee that 100%. I don't care about this character anymore. And here are the reasons why. Actually, since I've done basically nothing but, no, I talked about the keychain was cool, so it's not nothing but negativity. It's just a lot of it. Shit. Oh, positivity. His backdash is potentially really good. I didn't actually get to test if it has invincibility or not. But it's like twice as fast. The animation for it is about twice as fast. And he recovers faster too. So like, that was the first thing I noticed was how fast the backdash was. I was like, holy shit, how fast can you do this? It legitimately feels like you're wave dashing if you just spam backdash on Potemkin. It's that fast. Which was really weird. So if it retains the invincibility, that could be potentially broken. So that could be cool. But aside from that, like, I felt nothing good about Potemkin. Heat Knuckle being blockable. What stops you from just up backing non-stop against Potemkin? Like, what's the con from that? If you can just block Heat Knuckle. Slide Head being blockable. How is he ever going to get in on anybody? That's like they're basically forcing you to try to rely on armor by making it so that Slide Head is blockable but has armor. So it's like his quote-unquote answer to projectiles is that you just want to armor through them and Slide Head punish them. But like anybody that's actually good at the game is going to be able to avoid that easily. They're not going to allow you to do that. It's just that, I don't know. The decision making behind both of those things completely baffles me. Same thing, hammer break. Massively punishable. Like, it's not even a question of like, oh, you know, like, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still okay. Like, no, if you use hammer break to try to like reset your offense, you're going to get punished for it. It is the easiest thing in the world to react to. So, rest in peace, hammer break. It was nice knowing you. It's basically only good to try to like close from super far distance to like middle distance. That's about it. Aside from Roman canceling it, obviously, if you still RC it, then it's still good. But that takes meter. You don't get to do that very often. But the good things for him is that he has a lot of life and he does a shit ton of damage if he does touch you, which to me is a bad part of the game. That's another negative of the game. Like, I retweeted a video that somebody had of like, check out this sick soul combo I found. And it was just him doing 3 I mean, obviously it was sarcastic, but it was him doing 3 Fafnirs on somebody in the corner. And that alone comboed, and it did like 60% of the person's health bar. I saw a similar thing with one of the other people that was playing Potemkin. Landed a 6 heavy on an opponent that was in the corner. And then he just comboed into 2 more 6 heavies. So it was just 3 6 heavies in a row. There were no hammer breaks in there. There was nothing to cancel it with. He was just able to do 6 heavy, recover, 6 heavy, recover, 6 heavy. And that did like anywhere between 50 to 60% of their life bar. His command grab is like Tager 720 damage. It does probably around 40 to 45% of various characters' life bars. It's just insane how high the damage is. It's disgusting, and I hate it. Like, it's not Guilty Gear anymore. That's really all I can like really say about it, is that it still has the characters, it still has the graphics, it still has the animation. Characters still retain most of their moves. So in that sense, it's Guilty Gear. But the gameplay, the pacing, how you play the game, none of that has been retained whatsoever. The spirit is like completely lost. And that's just super tilting. Like, there's nothing good about that whatsoever. And the survey was garbage too. Like, I wish I had taken a picture of it so you could all actually see the questions. But number one, the simple fact of the matter is that most people are only going to play one match. Like, there are going to be some people that are dedicated enough to like play the one match, go back in line, wait another hour to play one more match, wait another hour to play one more match, and they might get like 6 matches throughout the course of the day. But most people are going to be like me and just be like, you only get one match and you want me to wait in line for an hour to an hour and a half for that? Go fuck yourself. And they're only going to play that one match. So the data you're going to get from those players is borderline useless. But then the questions they asked were borderline useless too. Like, I'm not sure if I'm remembering this correctly. I believe it's called the Likert scale, which, like, if you've applied for a job anytime recently, I mean, honestly, you've probably come across this, like, in any number of different scenarios. But basically, it's that thing where it's like it gives you an opinion or a thought or, like, a scenario, and then you have a scale of answers where it's like strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neither agree nor disagree, slightly agree, strongly agree. And then you just pick one of those. It's like that. That's what all the questions were. It was like, how did you feel about how easy this game was? And you had way too easy, very easy, not too easy nor too hard, way too hard. Or like, this game felt good to play. This game's graphics are good. This game, you know, like whatever. That kind of, it was just those kinds of questions, which like, you're not able to give any valuable feedback. The only 2 things that you were allowed to actually type your own thoughts into were what modes would you like to see in the future, or like what modes would you like to see in this game, and what characters would you like to see revealed in the future. And I'm still kicking myself. I forgot to put Zappa down. I just put down Biken and Testament. And I'm really, really sad that I did not put down Zappa, because I would love to see him too. How stupid of me. But anyway, but yeah, so like the survey wasn't really useful either. Like, they're not going to get any useful feedback, nothing that's really going to like change the I'm pretty sure that they're set. Like, even though they're saying, like, don't worry, this game can still massively change based on your feedback, I think that's bullshit. I think they're very set in how they want the game to play, and they're not going to change. I would be very, very surprised if they did. But yeah, that survey sucked. And I wish I had taken a picture of it so I could show. Like, there was only like one valuable question on there that I think is going to be like massively, overwhelmingly, like, yes, was, do you believe this game requires rollback netcode? That was included in there. And that, I think, is just going to be like, if they don't, like, if that's not, like, 90% of people that respond are probably going to respond yes to that. But other than that, it's just like the questions were kind of meaningless because they don't give you any good idea as to, like, they're not solvable, right? It's like, if everybody's just saying this game is too easy, but that's all that you have. You just have people saying the game is too easy. You don't know why it's too easy. You don't know why they think it's too easy. Nothing about that. You don't have any definitive information to expand on their opinions of why they feel it's too easy. What can you do with that information? You can't do anything. And so I really wish that there was just like even one thing that I could have just answered, like, I feel like you've lost the spirit of Guilty Gear and you should reevaluate your priorities to at least try to maintain what Guilty Gear is and why people love this series in the first place, because I think you're killing that. Just that alone. And I couldn't even do that. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway. Oh, one fine. Nah, whatever. The game looks good. It's a fucking beautiful game. Can't take that away from it. But at this point, I really, really hope SNK gets their shit together and makes King of Fighters 15 the best fighting game this world has ever seen, because otherwise, I'm in trouble. I might have to just buy Pokemon, even though I'm trying to hold out. I still really want to play it, even though, like, I don't think anybody can deny that the amount of effort that Pokemon deserves for how much money it makes, for how many resources they should have at their disposal due to how much money it makes, that Sword and Shield are like a proper level of quality. And so because of that, I feel like I can't justify giving them money for it. But there's still part of me that's just like, just buy it. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares about your moral stand. The company doesn't even give a shit about your moral stand. It's still going to sell millions of copies. So why are you taking a stand? Just play it. And the more this happens, the more I'm just tempted to just be like, fuck it. You don't matter. Your statement doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Just do it. I'm being ground down constantly. There's so many things that I just want to do, that I should just do, just so I have something that I can latch on to as like, all right, I did this, so I don't have to do that. Because it's starting to build up. You're going to see me one day. I'm just going to turn on the webcam and I'm going to have like full sleeves and fucking face tattoo. And just be like, this was my rebellion. Oh God, I'll never get a face tattoo. That's the only thing I can't do. Like, face and neck. Leave my face and my neck alone. I can't understand. I've never seen a neck tattoo that looked good, or a face tattoo. I'm fine with everything else. But fucking shoulders up, leave that, or like upward from the shoulders, on the shoulders is fine. Like shoulders, chest, arms, all that shit, fine. Do what you will. But I have never seen a neck tattoo or a face tattoo that looked good. And with that statement, I'm off. Thank you for listening. Peace.